But what we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. I don't talk about that. Come on, man, the kid was a cakewalk.
That nigga wrong. Canelo always has a problem with boxers. He always struggles when he fights a boxer. Anybody knows that if you box, take a punch, you'll get a hard attack. Floyd is not one of these guys that's going to quit.
Crawford soundly defeating Canelo Alvarez. We thought that maybe he could have won by even a further margin on the scorecards. He gets it done unanimously. Teddy, can you put into words what we just saw from Terence Crawford?
Well, the only thing I wonder is if Crawford was born and made in a laboratory.
Floyd Mayweather has taken a jab at Canelo Alvarez, following his defeat to Terence Crawford, claiming that Canelo is no longer the fighter he once was and suggesting that people have consistently overrated him. Mayweather revealed that he had confidence in Crawford from the beginning, even placing a significant bet on him, a gamble that paid off handsomely, with reports indicating he walked away with major winnings after betting $50,000 on Crawford. Despite the loss, Canelo maintained his composure and confidence, acknowledging Crawford's skill and calling him a great fighter who deserved the victory. However, he made it clear that he is far from finished, emphasizing that he feels both physically strong and mentally prepared for future challenges. By expressing his willingness to face Crawford again, Canelo demonstrated that his fighting spirit remains intact and that he refuses to shy away from challenges that threaten his pride and legacy. Garcia reacted enthusiastically to Terence Crawford's commanding victory, praising his performance and even suggesting on Twitter that Crawford might be the best fighter of all time. Garcia highlighted that Crawford's display in the ring showcased his exceptional skills and mindset, elevating him into a legendary status that is rarely seen in boxing history. Veteran trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas analyzed the fight, comparing it to Canelo Alvarez's previous loss to Floyd Mayweather. Atlas noted that Canelo has consistently struggled against faster, sharper opponents, with footwork and hand speed remaining persistent weaknesses. He explained that Crawford, despite being inactive for a year, came into the fight fully prepared and hungry, using precise timing and movement to neutralize Canelo's power, mirroring how Mayweather had previously exploited similar flaws. Atlas emphasized that this fight underscores Canelo's limitations against elite technical boxers, while Crawford's win further cements his growing legacy in the sport.
In the beginning, that if you go back, and I know it was a lot of years ago, I get it, but you have to have something to point at. If you go back to when he lost his first fight, of course, Canelo I'm talking about, to Mayweather, it wasn't just that his hands were too slow, his feet were too slow. And he's in there with a guy with quick feet and quicker hands. You know what? It doesn't matter how big he is. What did Ali say? Your hands cannot hit what your eyes cannot see. That was tonight. It was great.
Let's put some context on this.
It was great.
Let's put some context on this victory first. A year out of the ring. I think it was like 13 some odd months out of the ring, okay?
Yeah, really?
Yeah. 2 weight classes. Think about that.
Yep.
He had surgery early at the beginning of the year. Surgery on the shoulder surgery, right? Not sure which one. And to come in here and to put on that type of performance against Canelo that actually is coming off a performance, right? You expected Canelo to be sharp. He was sharp. However, what Crawford did was he took the air out of the ball.
Yeah.
He used this. That's what boxing's about, people. It's about this. Strategy. That's what he had. He used his feet. He understood Canelo every single movement. That's why Canelo couldn't land any shots on him. He knew it was coming. He knew that the looping right hand was going to come from the southpaw position. So what did he do? Hold the phone. He knew that the hook to the body was going to come. What did he do? Block, and he shot up with counters.
One of his great assets that we don't hear about enough. One of those things that are not so easily as immeasurable on paper, but it's eyes, vision, focus. Yeah, we know the physical ones we talk about and we understand so easily. Speed, power, quickness, legs, all that stuff. But eyes, the radar. This guy's got infrared.
Sports journalist Ariel Helwani quickly shared the official result on social media, confirming what many viewers had already sensed. He tweeted that Terence Crawford defeated Canelo Alvarez via unanimous decision, with scores of 116 to 112, 115 to 113, and 115 to 113. The decision underscored Crawford's consistency and control throughout the fight, even if the scores were relatively close. Helwani's update quickly went viral, emphasizing that Crawford's win over one of boxing's most celebrated champions was historic. The official verdict highlighted not just a victory, but a disciplined and calculated performance that solidified Crawford's status among the sport's elite. Fellow fighter Teofimo Lopez, known for his bold approach in the ring, expressed admiration for Crawford's achievement, noting that the bout featured two of the world's best and that Crawford emerged as the rightful winner. Lopez further stated that Crawford now belongs in the top 10 all-time greats, praising his style, composure, and execution. Such recognition from an active champion reinforces the significance of Crawford's triumph and how it is celebrated within the boxing community.
Prime, how can you gauge it?
Doesn't matter. We saw a great fight tonight, did we not? That's all that matters. Two guys risked it, and the better man won tonight. That was Crawford.
Terence got it right. Is there no need for a rematch, or do you want to see running back? Because it was pretty good, like you said.
No, it was it was really good, actually.
Yeah.
So it's up to the Jam. He's a Jam. He can do whatever he wants.
What do you think happens with Canelo next after this?
What happens to Canelo after this? It don't matter. He's made a big statement for not only Mexico or the pride of Mexico, but for all Latinos right there. So he's done a great job for himself. And nevertheless, Crawford is on his way, continuing to create greatness.
Mentally.
What's up? I know boxing. I just know stylistically. I've been in the gym with. I've shared the ring with Canelo, and then I see that. So
They were saying that if he beats Canelo, it could put him as even the greatest of all time. What does that put him in the all-time list, man?
At least top 10.
At least
Yeah,
top 10?
top 10 or top 15,
Yeah.
easily, you know. There's guys that we may not know of or heard of, like Henry Armstrong. Simultaneously, he was 3 divisions carrying all 3 weight divisions at the same time.
Which performance was better? I don't like to compare them, but Crawford or Mayweather's over Canelo. Like it's just different.
It's just different styles, different looks, you know.
At the post-fight press conference, Canelo Alvarez was asked to reflect on his experiences facing both Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford. His response quickly grabbed attention, especially when he drew a direct comparison between the two champions. Canelo openly admitted that Crawford had impressed him more, particularly in the later championship rounds where precision and control are critical. He went as far as stating, "I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather." Bold remark not only highlighted Crawford's outstanding performance, but also ignited debate among fans over how these two boxing legends truly measure up in the sports history.
In the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Following his loss, speculation about Canelo Alvarez's future began to intensify. His remarks and overall demeanor suggested that retirement might be on his mind, particularly as Crawford's victory has shifted the spotlight in boxing. The fight was widely described as a masterclass by Crawford, who used ring intelligence and adaptability to dominate and claim the title. This win is already being hailed as historic, with Crawford being recognized as one of the greatest fighters of his generation. For Canelo, the defeat raises questions about whether his time at the top is coming to an end, while for Crawford, it cements his status as the leading figure in modern boxing.
Was going to create history. I told you guys this before he fought Sean Porter. I said that Terence Bud Crawford can beat first ballot Hall of Famer and superstar and legend Canelo Alvarez. I've been saying this for years, that Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. And tonight, he did just that. He did just that. Not only did he beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, but he arguably retired Canelo Alvarez, who after the fight, Canelo Alvarez stated that he's done everything that he needed to do in the sport of boxing. When asked do he want a rematch with Terence Bud Crawford, Canelo Alvarez said, "It's no need." He gave no indications of a rematch. And Canelo Alvarez stated that he's a Hall of Famer, he's a winner, just being there made him a winner, right? And he stated that he's done everything he needed to do in the sport of boxing. That's what he said. Canelo Alvarez got schooled once again. I told you guys, styles make fights. This style, this particular style of boxers and counterpunchers and movers has historically given Canelo Alvarez problems. And as I told you guys, right? Terence Crawford can fight any which way he chooses to fight. He's just that much more versatile. And everybody didn't believe me. They said I was tripping. Canelo was too big. He gonna knock out Terence Crawford. Right? He too big, too strong. Terence Crawford get hit. Terence Crawford don't box, don't move. And I told you guys, when Terence Crawford wants to move and wants to box, right, he can. And he would, right? And guess what? Terence Crawford, I told you guys, when he fought the likes of Victor Postol, right? Y'all said that, oh, he don't move that much. I said, did you look at his fight with Victor Postol? Did you look at his fight with Jose Benavidez? Yeah, well, those guys ain't Canelo Alvarez. And I told you guys, it doesn't matter if they're Canelo Alvarez. It's about Terence Crawford's abilities to be able to maneuver around and box in every which manner he so chooses. If he wants to incorporate that style that he boxes and moves, he could. And what did he do tonight? I said Terence Crawford could fight at every level. Didn't I tell you guys that? I said Terence Crawford can fight in mid-range. He can fight on the outside. He can fight on the inside. Canelo Alvarez cannot. Y'all ask me, why aren't you talking about what Canelo Alvarez could do great? And I told you, because we know what Canelo Alvarez is going to do. He's going to fight. He's consistent in who he is and how he fights. Period. I told you guys.
Boxing legend Andre Ward was quick to highlight the significance of Crawford's performance, describing it as a historic victory and a generational fight that fans will remember for decades. He noted that bouts like this define careers and distinguish great fighters from true legends. Ward praised Crawford's ability to dismantle Canelo while maintaining discipline and composure throughout the rounds, emphasizing the importance of ring intelligence in such high-level contests. By framing the win as a goated moment, Ward effectively placed Crawford into the conversation of the greatest fighters of all time, underscoring the magnitude of what unfolded inside the ring.